Howdy friend, welcome back to the Feed Bandit podcast and your Texas First Outdoors tip of the day. We're continuing our pace through the Total Deer Hunter Manual. We've been talking about the early rut, the October lull, things of that nature recently. Here we go, continuing with skill number 60, which is called Watch the Lip Curl. When a pursuing buck catches up to a doe and his lip curls, an act that's technically called flamening, interesting word. He's actually sucking the odor of her urine into the roof of his mouth. That's where the vomeronasal organ processes the scent and tells him she's ready to be bred. Several animal species have this gland, and researchers feel that primitive humans might have had it too. Wow, can you imagine us humans running around and, I mentioned this on a previous one. Imagine if humans actually rutted. But then imagine this, we're running around, curling our lips up and... but don't lip curl on your next date. It's considered gauche. Skill 61, seek the first phase. We often talk about the rut phases as if a switch is flipped, and click, it's the seeking phase, or click, it's the chase is on. But the shifts are far subtler. The transition from the so-called October lull to the seeking phase starts with bucks simply spending a little more time on their feet, venturing into doe areas, sniffing for any hint of go time, and making more rubs and scrapes. It builds from there. Technically, seeking and chasing are one phase. Bucks seek does, and when they find one, they're apt to chase. If the doe isn't ready, the buck will break off and seek another. As more does enter estrus, what starts off as mostly seeking gradually becomes mostly chasing. And even then, any buck that isn't chasing a doe is definitely seeking one to chase. But it's useful to separate them from a practical standpoint, because they hunt differently. The seeking phase is an especially good time for bow hunting because bucks are on the move, yet still fairly predictable, which begins to change once they start chasing in earnest. But to take advantage, you need to pay close attention to subtle changes in late October. You need to seek the seeking phase. Do lots of midday scouting and be ready to jump on the freshest sign or latest sightings. And skill 62, cut to the chase gradually. Roughly 2 days before a doe is ready, she becomes restless, covering more ground, and some actually leaving their home range on breeding excursions, and urinating frequently, which is her advertising herself to bucks, which pick up the trail and pursue. However, it may be a day or more before she's ready to accept a mate. This, plus the advances of increasingly frustrated bucks, harassing does that aren't ready, can make it seem like every deer you see is either chasing or being chased. Many hunters consider it the very best time to be in the deer woods. Some researchers believe the whole frantic, conspicuous, noisy process is a way for does to attract as many suitors as possible in order to pick the best mate. What does that mean for you? Well, when you see a doe being chased, don't just take the first decent buck you see. Odds are the big one will be coming along shortly. Alright, that, my friend, was your Texas First Outdoor Tips of the Day. Tomorrow we're going to actually walk through the specific phases of the rut, talk about timing, we'll talk about what the approximate dates are, the lowdown, and the sure signs. So come back for that one tomorrow. That'll be a valuable one. All right. Well, thanks so much for listening. Remember, go to feedbandit.com. Check out some of the gear we have. I'm sure you'll find something fun over there that you might want to wear on your body. I would hope so. All right. Well, thanks so much for listening. We'll catch you on the next one. Take care.